Hello guys, oh my gosh, happy Saturday. And today is the day that I will be going to my 4th book tour. Well, I'm excited, honey, because baby, I'm gonna need y'all to give me 1 year, okay? In the meantime, pause on giving me what I just asked you for, because we have to find a shirt that will work perfectly with my 2-piece green suit. And I have this monochromatic vibe in my head, and I'm hoping that I can pull it off. I have seen Michelle Obama pull it off, and I also recently just seen the author pull it off at one of her stops. So I'm like, oh, like we got to pull the look off. So usually, like I said, if y'all have been following me, I try to go for the author's vibe or the artist's vibe, or whatever vibe they're on leading up to Houston. That's usually the vibe I lean towards too. So I am hoping that she also have a monochromatic look as well. So I wonder what pantsuit color she's gonna wear. I always wonder that about the people that I go see. And I'm hoping that I can find the shirt that will match the pantsuit. So it's 2:28. The event starts at 6. So we're working with a good time frame, but remind you, we gotta put some nails on. I gotta go get my feet done. I also, oh, that's about it. Because before I start vlogging, I actually went to go put air in my tires, run some errands before then, and way before I even came to report to y'all, I've been up since like 4 something this morning. And that's because I have been organizing my files, because I'm putting the vlog together and we started a new series here on YouTube. So I have to put that out today, and I would say I'm 50% done. Oh, my procrastination is so annoying, and I hope that I can do better. But I already had a good breakfast and a good lunch, so right now we're out here doing errands. So the first stop we're at is called Didi's Discounts for ladies, kids, men's, and shoes. So usually Didi's, if I have not shopped on Shein, is my #1 go-to. After that, I'll go to Burlington. So we're gonna stop here and we'll report back if we found the perfect shirt. So we'll see you in there. Driving away while I watch them ride with my fears away. Okay, y'all, so I am in the dressing room. I'm about to try on the outfit. And by the way, I brought my 2-piece suit with me because, baby, the colors does not always appear to what color it is. Taking a picture of a pantsuit is dangerous because you don't know if the RGB on the screen don't look the same on the phone as it would in person. So it's best to bring certain outfits with you. So I didn't want to take the chance that the RGB would be the same on the screen, matching with my shirt that I choose in stores. So, all right, y'all, tag along, because baby, once we get the outfit in order, trust me, I'm like, oh, sister girl transition big time, okay? So y'all bear with me. We'll see y'all in the next video. Without the flash, these two go together much better than this. Like, it's too off. And the monochromatic look has to at least be close, you know? We're gonna go for this one. And hopefully my sister approves. So I am leaving the store without my sister's approval. So I have to go home and show her, because she's not available when I call her in the dressing room. But It did not take long, guys. Like, I instantly laid my eyes on that shirt, and I just chose the second one as an option. But I guess God had that laid on the rack for me till I got there. So we're gonna go get our nails done, and we need to go home and get ready because I do not want to be late. Okay, I think the vibes have been completed. Okay, yeah. We gotta look, yeah. So my sister was not able to get my calls when I was in the store. So I'm ready to call my sister to see if the fit is given. So I did text my sister before coming to the house because I did not have a signal in the dressing room. So based on what I sent her, she really was saying that it's too casual for her. But then she double texted and said, you know what? Maybe when you dress it up, it may can pass. So I'm gonna FaceTime her and see if she approves it. Okay, so yeah, baby, Shonda Scott then gave me a reason to pull out this two-piece suit, honey, and ain't nothing like a conversation over some cocktail, okay? So y'all know I love getting out the house. I love taking you guys on the journey, and I just love new outings so I can gain some experience, learn a little bit more, gain ideas, inspiration, sit at the hem of people who has great knowledge that they can pass down to little me. So baby, let's go to Houston. In my cheetah print heels, I have my Pandora charm bracelet. I have some finger rings from Shein. And of course, I had to keep it nude and short. And I'm gonna rock my favorite black small purse to complete the look. So y'all see how the colors are all coordinating. You always gotta have a pop color. The heels is gonna be the pop color. It's okay. So we'll keep you posted. And again, if you see me outside of these four walls, then know that the look past the vibes with my stylist. 16 carriages driving away while I watch them ride with my ears away. Okay, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Oh, y'all, I could not vlog anymore. So I left the nail shop at like 4:50 something. I had like 12 minutes to get home. So I made it home by 5:01. I got dressed like real time to be in traffic. So my ETA time is 6:18. Cocktail started at 6 o'clock. So it's not bad if you show up like 10 to 15 minutes late. You don't want to be too early. So decent time. And remind y'all, I'm driving from Katy, Texas. So Houston, it's a hop and a skip. So I'll check back in once I arrive safely. I valet parking, y'all. All right. Okay, Shonda. We in a nice little spot, huh? Thank you. Oh, well, y'all, I made it here safely. And when I say, oh, the place look nice and luxury, it does. Okay. All right. Shonda, on my way. I'm gonna pin you a note, Miss Shonda. All right. And thank you. Okay. Well, look at this, honey. Now me, I got a whole new book to add to my collection. We're gonna see what she's talking about. Okay. We'll keep y'all posted.
You all over the place. I saw that. I was like, okay, I love this. How you thinking? I'm like, the kids like engaged. I'm like, no, right. Just sit me down, right? I'm on reading access, right? So I'm like, something like this, because it's your stuff, right? Like, if I'm trying to connect with it, and then you got to be right. Yes, for y'all. I told y'all my intuition has been on point. I wanted her to come in the monochromatic two-piece and look at her. Tell me nothing. Okay, so y'all need to know literally very closely, okay? But I'm so grateful to literally be in person with someone I just met shortly offline. This is what I say, community and connection is real. So get offline, get in the community, and read the book before the year is out. And what better way to end it? Give me a year. So this time, November the 15th, y'all gonna see a whole new person. I'll see y'all in the next video.
Okay, so I echo the appreciation to see all of you guys here today. It's a lovely group of men and women, or I should say, yeah, two men, so. So pleased that you came out here today to learn more about Give Me a Year.
Yes.
Give Me a Year. Shonda Scott is a serial entrepreneur from a long lineage of entrepreneurs. It's in the blood. CEO of 360 Total Concept. She is a management and consulting whiz, lauded nationally. She has been responsible for more than $200 million being reinvested in underserved communities. So she is, yes. So she is a civic leader, she is a strategist, she is, as you know today, an author. She is a woman of faith. She's also executive producer of a talk show, Spotlight with Shonda Scott. And she is a mom, not last of which. I got a chance to meet her first through the pages of this book. And I will tell you, you're going to find, as I did, that she is the friend that we all want to have in our lives. Somebody who is self-aware, somebody who is smart, and somebody who is brave. So here is your chance to meet Ms. Shonda Scott.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Throw this mic on. They're on. The mics are on.
Hey. I'm your best friend.
So we met through text, and like I said, I met her through her book, and in person, just as lovely and as dynamic as she is in the pages of her book. Is my mic on? Yes. I feel like that one was louder. Okay. So my job today is small, because nobody came to hear me, they came to hear Shonda. My job is just to help her introduce herself further to all of you. And I think that you'll be inspired to do some work. Okay? So let's get started. So I said you're self-aware. 2019, when you started this journey, where were you? What were you thinking about yourself and your life that made you go, I gotta do some plumbing and some reconstruction and some window treatments, and I gotta do a whole random job?
So it started in 2017. I wrote an article they asked me to write an article for a women's magazine and how women can reinvent themselves. And in the article, my premise was that for women and all of us, anybody, to reinvent yourself or even to see change in your life and in your world. Like if your world or your situation is not looking like you want it to look, The only thing you can change is you. And so from that, but then as I was writing, I was like, well, that's the hardest thing for most of us to do, is change ourselves, our mindset. Like, that's the last thing, and that's the last thing we want to do, and it often brings up a lot of fear. So the 2019 came, I was thinking about things I wanted to change, and so I'm like, I wrote the article, I gotta practice what I preach. So I had this social experiment that I did on social media, but it was fun at first. It was about doing something new and different once a month, to get yourself out, get me out of my comfort zone, embrace change in fun, exciting ways. My son was adult now, he's grown, so I just had a lot more me time to like reflect on me. And so by the end of the year, if you did something once a month, then by the end of the year, you've done 12 new things. And I felt like, oh, you could, once a month, that's an easy commitment.
Right.
That'll be fun. So there was a social media campaign, and that was 2019. My birthday's in February.
Okay.
And then in 2020, my birthday in February, I said, okay, this is a lifestyle. That was fun for that campaign, but it really is a lifestyle for us to continue to find ways to pivot out of our comfort zone, because from 8 to 80, even after 80, if you're still here and functional, you still have more to learn, more to do, more to give. And so it makes that book is applicable to that age group too. So by March 2020, the world shut down. And that's when so many people had to be forced to do something new and different.
Right.
And we realized that the pivot is what it was forced upon us. So it became more relatable to more people, the whole 12 new things concept. So then people were asking me about the book, about writing a book, a guide, because they felt like they needed a guide. And I'm like, well, just do it. But when men started asking me about it, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe there's something to it, because I'm just thinking, it should be simple and easy to do. So that was the seed that was planted for me to come up with the thought of writing about the 12 new things lifestyle journey.
So you said you thought it should be simple and easy to do. Was it simple and easy to do as you started to say, okay, I want to do not just little things, but some big things?
So it is simple and easy to do, to commit to doing it. Because the new things you come up with are what you want. So the book is a guide just giving examples of what I did and other people that I've known have done new things. But it's to give you the permission to come up with your own plan. So that part is the simple part. And I always say your first thing should be something simple. So by the end of that first month, you're like, okay, I did it. And you can keep going, right? You check the box, so make it light. Like my first new thing that I did was to go a different route to work. But the transformation, if it be it big or small, is tremendous, because me just going a different route to work gave me a different perspective. The route I went was more scenic. So then when I came to work, I was like more at peace because I wasn't in traffic for all these hours. And then it just let you see your own city in a different light, because you're not doing the same route over and over again. So part of what I'd say too is that even if you're doing something that's working for 5 years, it's time to change.
Yeah.
Because the one thing about life that's consistent is change. And the only thing that really doesn't change is when we choose not to change our mindset. And that's really the only thing we have control over changing. It's not even a natural state to think that everything else that God created changes all the time, except the one thing He gave us control over is our mindset. So that should be changing too, for our better, because it just opens us up to greater opportunities that I can't explain. So 12 new things help you kind of remove you from blocking yourself and blocking your blessings. But how the blessings come, that's all God. But your mindset is more open and clear to receive it. I felt so much more accomplished than I did with the challenges I had. And that's part of the whole 12 new things mindset too, is that even though life can be dark and things can be challenging, you still can find joy in moments, even in the midst of chaos. And even when you're getting challenged, leaning on your new thing that you have committed to, getting through to the other side, you realize that all that struggle you were going through doesn't outweigh the blessing that you had on the other end. So I felt very proud of myself after I finished that swim. But it's a whole process that I went through in that one new thing.
Well, and that's why I say that you're brave. Do you think that in this process, we all should try to do maybe something that scares us a little? Not that everything has to be as big as the goal we have.
But I didn't go into that one with fear. So that one I thought was my comfort zone. Right.
Because I'm like, wait.
I know, I had figured out. My was one of the ones I talked about in the book, was like, wait, what are you swimming in? What are you doing? And I'm like, I know, I'm praying on it, I'll be okay. Everybody was like, people were really concerned. And after I got out, one of my aunt that's on my dad's side, she was 90-something at the time. She's like, but did you see any sharks? I'm like, I'm glad I did not see any sharks. I wasn't even thinking about any sharks. But yeah, but fear is one. That's a part of the 12 new things process, is to overcome fear too. So there are some new things that I did intentionally to overcome fear. Like the fear I have of not being in high places, not inside of the zone, but like on a zip line, like those kind of things. So I did those intentionally because part of what blocks us too is fear. And that's part of what makes us not change our mindset, because it's a comfort zone to stay the same. So it's in our minds, we're thinking it's easier not to change because that's a safe place. But I'm like, everything's changing around you, so it's either you like take it once a month and own it and try to make fear light for yourself, so then we are conditioned our mind. Change doesn't always have to be fear ridden. There are times where it can be fun. And so it's like working out. When you go to the gym, you can't just automatically start lifting 200 pounds. You have to build your muscle up to that. So part of it, the 12 new things, is helping build your muscle up to like when change happens, because it's going to happen to you, around you all the time, and you don't always know what that change is going to be or look like. But if your mind doesn't always have to go to the fear place, then sometimes you're training your mind to not think of change always as something that causes a lot of anxiety.
I wasn't as at peace as I thought I was, and this giving me a level of peace that makes me know that I wasn't at peace, because now I have a different level of peace and balance, even when things are chaotic and crazy.
Why do you think the process gave you peace?
I think because, going the route a different way, it just kind of gave me a different perspective. So it just keeps me looking at life in a different perspective. Plus, I have the premise of, if things are going crazy in your world, you got to look at you to get that right. And so part of that gives me peace too, because now it's not as if external things I'm reacting to. It's like, okay, why does that happen? So some things are happening, and it's giving me a time now where I'm like, let me take a beat, because maybe I just need to shift something just simply, or maybe I should do something different, or maybe it's not what you always see, because everybody can have a different perspective. But me acting those things out is what makes me see it in my life, and in other people telling me, because it's like, oh, you're not worried about that? I'm like, well, no, I'm not. And that, and I've asked that about people, because I'm like, there's some things I think, oh, everybody would have reacted this the same way, and the person may say, oh no, that's not bothering me. I'm like, oh, that's not bothering me. Why?
Like me scared about the swim. You're like,
Right.
I'm scared about the swim.
Initially, I wasn't scared about the swim. After I jumped right in there,
the sharks.
after I jumped right in there, then I started thinking, but even in that, that's true, because so many people were telling me different things in that. I'm like, no, the one thing about it, I'm not a quitter, so now I have to just follow it through, even though I was trying to find every reason not to eat that swimming, that case in point. But I just kept checking myself. It's like, is this a real reason? Is it really a safety reason, or is it that I'm trying to find something to be my excuse to not do it?
Oh,
and then
that's some heavy duty work.
Yes. That's why I say the transformation is transformative, but the steps are so practical and simple. You're like, oh, I'm just doing this one new thing. But there's all kinds of lessons that happen along the way.
Yeah.
Unexpected ones.
So going back to the process, every chapter.
The December new thing will be this playlist that we put together because someone was inspired, and now they gifted me to be a producer on it, and they produced a theme song called Give Me a Year Groove. The song really speaks to all that we're doing. So from that, I'm like, oh, I put together a whole playlist that we're sharing that gives each chapter has a different song that goes to that chapter and speaks to it. Next month in LA, I'm gonna do a book reading and a chapter rollout of the playlist. So it's like, why that song, why that chapter? Some of them speak to themselves, because Family Affair is a chapter, so that song is already Sly and Family Stone. Yeah, so that's that new thing, and that's been kind of fun.
Anybody who didn't get the Sly and the Family Stone reference, we'll talk after. Okay.
They have to Google Family Affair.
Oh, like sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm old at a certain age, and I don't know if they know. Or, okay, so like your playlist, something that's fun. Talk more about some of the fun, humorous moments you've had in the journey of the year, the this book was done?
One fun moment I'll say is that in this book I talk about how Mr. and Mrs. Obama rolled out the Obama Foundation. They invited a couple hundred of us to roll it out with them. And then they had, at the end, this community dinner. And at the community dinner, they had all of people from different walks and places. None of us that knew each other could sit at the same table. Everybody had to sit differently. And by the end of the night, it was just really cool how we were all these strangers at the table. And I walked away thinking, oh, I would want to do something like that. But I'm like, even though I wrote this book, this part of my process too, because I'm pretty much a private person. But this book has definitely evolved me from that. But that was it. I was like, I'm not gonna have strangers in my house. But I thought it was really cool. I was like, I really want to figure that out. So in the book, I talk about how I went to UCLA and actually got this email.
Which is kind of sad, but I went to USC.
No, I say,
I'm sorry.
so some of my best friends are Trojans. It's okay. So I get this email from my alma mater, and it said, you know, dinner with 12 strangers. And I'm like, what? I just said I wanted to do this. I'm like, and it came up, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the dinner with 12 strangers, because it was 12 strangers, but we all just happened to go to UCLA. But we didn't know each other. It was different times. So it's our tagline, and I talk about it in the book, is that we came as strangers and left as friends. Because we really found out, and that was what the Obama dinner did too. You found out how much you have in common versus the differences you have just from meeting strangers that you don't know. And so that was a fun one. A funny one was when I did the cave diving in Tulum and the cenotes, because that wasn't on my list. It was something I was not trying to do. But we find out, just a quick story, this in the book too, that I was there for a women's conference. I was a speaker, and the organizer thought it would be a fun idea to, you know, surprise us with this cave diving in the cenotes. And I thought we were going like to the beach and lay out and chill. That was what I was doing, even though I can swim. As we're talking, the surprise is that most of the people in the group don't know how to swim. And cave diving in cenotes is diving down like a 50-foot cave into bodies of water. So we're in Mexico, we don't speak Spanish, they don't speak English, and now we're cave diving. So the lifeguard in me—
There's the brave moment.
That's the brave moment. The lifeguard in me would not, felt like, okay, I need to go to make sure everybody's okay. Thank God I did, because it was an adventure. I couldn't even explain it enough in the book. It's like you almost had to have a video. But at the end, it's something that I recommend that people know how to swim to do. But it's also why I tell people, I have a disclaimer on the new thing. Don't jump into something that you don't have the skill set to do. Make sure you learn the trade or whatever you need to learn to do it so that you're safe. But cave diving in cenotes ended up being something that actually was fun.
Yeah.
But the adventure was a little stressful at times, because I was helping people swim and be safe at the same time of zip lining into bodies of water and down caves.
See, I told you she's the cool friend we all need. I was like, okay, that sounds, that does. I'm actually certified scuba diver, so that sounds like fun.
See, you would love it.
So I love it.
You gotta put that on your list if you haven't done it.
Okay, I'm going to. So hobbies, any new hobbies that during this journey that you started and that have stuck with you?
I recommend hobbies for people, and people have told me about their hobbies, like some have done quilting, and some have done like other adventures. I haven't done the hobby. Mine have been more travel and just other things that changed me, but I don't think there's really been a hobby that I've done and kept up with. So that might be something I need to add to my list.
What about the sourdough?
The sourdough, but that's not something I kept up with.
Okay. My next question was going to be something you started and you didn't keep doing.
Right. Well, that would be one.
Well, what's your thought on that though? Because I think that sometimes, like, you should try things and you shouldn't feel like you have to commit to everything. It's like a date. Like, one date doesn't mean you get a second date.
That's true. That's true. And that's why me with the jump right and swim. I was one and done. I'm not going to do that swim again. They do it every year though. It's good for a good cause. But I'm like, oh no, that was a lot getting out of that water, and I was so grateful to get out of that water that I'm like, fine.
You're done.
Yeah.
Did it. Check.
So that was one and done for me.
Okay.
But I do want to do one that I didn't do, baking pasta in Italy. That's on my list that I haven't done. Although I've been to Italy, I've never made pasta in Italy.
Anybody else want to put that on their list? Come on,
Okay.
to some of the things you have on your list of things to do. But
I still do things every month, and what I tell people too is that once you commit to doing 12 new things, even if you have people around you that aren't doing it, they're gonna be keeping you accountable. They're gonna ask you what you did, they're gonna volunteer you, so people still ask me like, what are you doing now? What's your new thing now? And I was going like, what did part of what I talk about in the book too is your time to carve out for you too. So sometimes those are the times when I do something new as well, like my regular, just taking time for me, which wasn't always easy for me, especially with owning my own business and then raising my son. My time, we live with my family, my parents are in the same area where I am, so a lot of my time was never carved out for me. So that part was a harder part for me for a while, but now I try to be better at it.
A lot of us women do that.
Right. And I'm still not as 100% good about it. Like, no, this is the time, that's it, that's all. I still cheat a little bit.
Do any of you guys have questions that you'd like to ask Shonda before we wrap up? Let me take you the mic. I'm gonna do my Oprah imitation.
Yes, you get a card. You get a mic.
Yeah, right.
You get a mic.
First of all, I just want to say I'm so glad that you're here, Shonda. Shonda and I are good friends, and she's a bright star in everything she does. But I met her doing aviation, our aviation years, and I'm just so glad you're here. One of the things I was discussing with my other dear friend, this other entrepreneur guru, Marsha Murray, we think that we want to do give it a year club.
Oh, okay.
Where we have little areas, sort of like some of my link sisters and some of my sorors and dear friends, we get together and we have groups. And I just want to know what you think about that.
I think that's an excellent idea. That's a good idea.
And then we can promote the book.
Yeah.
And then see how it ties in with what you do. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to know if you thought that was okay.
I think that's a great idea. Let's talk about that. I like that. I love evolution and innovation. That's a good one.
For this month. I'm kind of from my good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Shonda. Thank you, everyone who's participated in this, and thank you to myself and everybody else for coming out. That's cool. My question is, what was your most challenging chapter to share with everyone, and why?
One of the most challenging chapters is the one that I write about my family, and telling that story because so many people that know me, including my mom, and I tell everybody I got her approval before I was even at the publisher to share the story. But the story is shared in a way to show just how families can evolve and still be family, and that love at the end of the day is love. And if you care about your family unconditionally, then you just kind of move and evolve, and you don't let things stop you and block you. And that was hard to say because some of the way I wrote it, I never had shared it with anybody. And then also when I talk about in the book, when my parents' situation changed, it didn't just impact me, it impacted both sides of my family. I have both sides here, my aunts here on my mom's side, my cousins here on my dad's side. That's how our family always was. So it always impacted them, but then it also impacted the greater community because of who my parents were in our community too. So it was like, all of us was just like in this situation, but at the end of the day, we still roll the same way we did as when I was growing up now. And so I felt like it was important for me to share what I was feeling, but it also important for me to share because family changes and dynamics can really be a lot of devastation for a person, and it doesn't have to be. And that's kind of what the story just kind of shares, is how families change, things evolve, but you still are family. If and if you're close family, you learn how to let people be, let people live, and then, you do things in the family that they might not like, and they do things that you don't like, so nobody's perfect, but your family, the life of the family, and the family is important to me. So that one was tricky because that was hard for me to finally write out what I might have been feeling inside. That was another one. And then some of the other, like my business chapter one was hard because, I've had a lot of success in business, but I've also had failure, and to actually share that in a way to help everybody understand that, there are highs and there's lows. And like I said, even in those chapters, the things that I'm talking about right now are probably there are symptoms in that chapter, so yeah, those are probably the most personal ones. And like I said, I was a more private person, so for me to share, publicly to the world, was a very vulnerable process to me, and that was what I've been working on with me, being more vulnerable. And so writing in general is a vulnerable process, but also incorporating personal stories to that, it adds more to it. It times 10.
Thank you so much, and thank you for breaking what goes on in this house stays in this house.
Yeah, that was very generous of you too.
Come on, wait a minute. I'm so done.
Took flight lessons in Hayward by Black School.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the 12th thing I did, I always wanted to do skiing indoors in Dubai. Because that always was like, how you got snow in the middle of the desert? That was the thing. And then we tacked on the trip to the Maldives on that same trip because it was so close versus coming all the way. So that's still one of my favorites because one, that was like the first time I had something. I travel a lot, but I didn't really have like these bucket list things. But that would be one thing that I had, like that was always something I wanted to do that was intriguing to me. And I talk about that one. That's the story in there too about that. But it was that was like the most fun. Now I get excited about things. People like someone shared with me about orchards. In our area, there's where you can go to orchards and pick your fruit. And I had never done that. They're like, it was so much fun. So I did that, and that was really rewarding to just go. One, it was rewarding to see the process that it takes just for you to pick your own fruit.
Hi, Shonda. Hello. Hi. Before I do, I just want to say it's very interesting how God works. I was talking to my platform on like, where do I want to like spend my time with another author, but little do I know, she followed me and I just read a bio. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was just following her and I was like, oh, she's on a book tour. And in my mind, I was like, dang, I'm so busy to fly out where I felt like she would just tour it. And maybe over the weekend, I saw that she posted that she was coming to Houston. I said, oh, she must be reading my mind. Book tours has become a new hobby for me. And it was something I never would imagine on my bingo cards because just sitting in one place is something that I don't say I can't do, but I have a hard time doing. I'm more like an active person. So already right now I'm doing something new without even really diving into the book. But my question for you, Shonda, is out of the 12 new things that you have done in the book, what was the most inspiring one?
That was the one that challenged me to date the most. This first chapter is the one that pushed me the most. Okay. Because it not only mentally, but physically, I was having to work out in the ocean to prepare for this race. And literally while I'm swimming in the water on the race, I'm having like anxiety. I'm just like, all these things are happening, but and I can't even really explain it. I try to explain it as much as I can in the book, and people said they get it, but I mean, I still like, no, you don't get it. I think the moments in the swim, and I actually had a swim angel, so it's somebody who guides you through the swim. When we're in this ocean, it's just us. Every time I reflect on it, I'm thinking, like anything can happen in there. Like nobody's really ever able to really save you of something. Because at points in the water, I was thinking, oh, I just want to just relax and swim. No, you gotta keep going. And then later I'm thinking, I think I was going through like this anxiety, like in the water anxiety is like you can get too calm, and then the calmness could cause you to drown. Like drowning isn't always traumatic. And so I talk about even when I was a child and I felt like I almost drowned. And what was interesting when Malcolm Jamal Warner passed, that exact thing happened to him, happened to me when I was little. So I didn't know that God just gave me it when I was little, because when I was pulling away. If you're in a situation like that and the water's pulling you, the reflex is, even if you're a good swimmer, is to swim out. But the water literally is pulling you back down as you swim out. So if you swim out, that's the worst thing to do. So when I was trying to do that, and what he did, at some point, God was like, just stop. And it wasn't like God, it was just like something, I just stopped. And I floated, I hopped right back to the top of the water. Well, he probably kept swimming. And if you keep swimming, the water just takes you and you're just gone. But I'm just saying, it's just like a subtlety. So when I was in the swim, there were times where I felt like my body was probably locking up, or I'm going through something, but I was looking at it because the swim angel said, I never knew you were distressed because you couldn't see it on your face. And I was like, I don't think I realized I was distressed till after, because I kept trying to do this, like, let me just relax in the water thing. And she kept going, no, keep swimming. And I'm like, okay, let me keep swimming. She's like, keep swimming till you get to the end. And I was like, because we only had like a certain amount of time to get through the swim. So now in hindsight, I realized, I was like, oh, I think I was really cool, because I was thinking about all that was going through my mind in the swim. So literally when I got out the water, I like burst out in tears, crying. Usually when I swim, it's in the pools of water, and it's for cancer research and other things, but it's in the swimming, in a pool. So I usually cry during the workout because I think about why I'm swimming and who I'm swimming on behalf of and all that they went through, either they passed or they're surviving. But this time I didn't have a chance to cry in the water because it was like so intense that when I came out, I thought about my grandmother, I thought about the swim, I was so happy to be in the water, and I'm literally, they got pictures of me, I'm just like in the water with my face just bawling, but it was such a sense of relief at the same time. So, and accomplishment because I finished the swim. So that was the one, it was so much. And I was like, I almost feel that, that's why it became the first chapter. One, to jump right in, because I think it's important to jump right into your 12 New Things journey. Just start it and do it, and you have fun along the way. But also because that one thing has been, like, it's almost a poster for the whole 12 New Things journey, because it's going to be challenges, and there's going to be obstacles, but you're gonna have fun along the way. So it's all that bottled in, you know, an exercise. 1 month it may not be that, but 1 month it may be like, what did I sign up for? But the keep pushing through to get to the other side is the whole metaphor just for life. Like when life gets heavy and dark, like we gotta just keep going and getting through to the other side and having our angels around us to guide us and keep us going and push us even when it gets tough. And then just like the Bible says, the blessings on the other side outweigh all the stress and drama that you've gone through. That's not how the Bible says it, but that's how it's said. That's what the Bible's saying. You know, but that's exactly what it's saying. So yeah. Was that the last question? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just haven't seen, the tour has been like a family reunion. There's been people we've gone to high school with that we haven't seen in a long time showing up, like in New York and other places. And in Oakland, we kicked it off. And then Houston, I got to go, on my dad's side of the family is from Denver, so I had a book signing at the Barnes & Noble in Denver. They all came out. And then my mom's side is in Houston, so it just makes it all like the stories in the book are and all being lived out along the way in this book tour. So, and meeting lovely people like Gina, I'm just like, I'm so excited. People I haven't seen in years, like Kevin and I have known each other a long time, but we haven't seen each other in a long time as well. And then cousins from Denver, Dallas by way by Denver, and my aunt is here, and other cousins that are here from Houston I haven't seen, and other cousins, and Darnell cousin crew, I didn't know, folks in here, hey, Alan, I didn't know you were a. So that was nice, and people that I know in industry too, that are like, now we're all friends. So it's just been fun, the book, the tour, and then all the connections that have come along the way. And it all started like, I went into my 12 New Things. I didn't come out thinking I was gonna write a book. I didn't even go into it thinking I was gonna write a book. That's just one of those transformative things that happened along the way that you can just document after.
What's your next stop? Is LA your next stop?
So LA is the next stop today.
Okay. And you're selling books here today.
We have, you
So
can,
we hope that
I think we may have some, it looks like some of them are gone, but you also, so the book is also everywhere books are sold. So even if they're not in your bookstore, they can order it. So that's why it's everywhere books are stored. So if you have a favorite bookstore and they don't have it, they can order it for you. I've been going through through Barnes and Nobles all across the country doing book signings there. I just did one on 5th Avenue, their flagship in New York, signing books. So I've been leaving signed copies there for people, even if I'm not there, they get a signed copy. And then I've been going to independent bookstores too. So the one we're gonna do in LA is a Black-owned bookstore in Leimert Park in LA. That's pretty cool. And it's next to Derek has a brother who has a coffee house that's opening up, and it's next door to a coffee house. And if y'all, when you read the book, you realize how coffee houses are near and dear to my heart. Even though it's a challenge, but it's a blessing in the same, right, thank you. So, yeah, so it's this bit. And I want to acknowledge Donette too. She decorated, got everything. I'm all in Oakland and all around, and Donette graduated from company. And she's really, okay, and I've been thanking him all around, so I'm glad he opened it up and welcome. And thank you, Gina, because.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
No, thank you.
No, no, I just want to say thank you for inspiring all of us, right? And giving us a simple to be and being the light that God intended for us to be. And you've given us some tools to get there. So thank you for that.
And you all got to meet my mom.
Yeah.
Thank you. She's the one that's from Houston that I take credit for, because I love Houston like it's another home to me. I love Houston. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Wow, Shonda Scott just wrapped up one of the greatest conversations. I mean, very intimate, very thorough. I cannot wait to dive in, starting probably tonight at this point, because it was that good. Great questions, great impact on what's to come. So I am excited, and I'm hoping that you guys will get a copy too, because everybody needs to do something new in their life, and she is challenging us through this guide to do something as well. So this has been a great event, and I'm just super excited that she came to Houston, Texas. So baby, you on the map for real, for real. If anybody come to Houston, Texas, you really is on the map, because nobody forget about Houston. So the fact that you came to Houston, Texas, that says a lot about your marketing team. So yeah, we're looking forward to supporting you along the way. Thoughts after the conversation. Thoughts after the conversation.
So I just wanted everybody to commit to doing their 12-week journey. When you don't do anything on it.
Oh my gosh. Well, my birthday started in January, so I'm already ready to go skydiving in Houston. I've been wanting to do the skydiving in-house now outside, because what's going on in the air with under the I ain't going to get in no plane with but I'm going to do the indoor skydiving, and I'm going to keep you posted. Yeah, I'm scared too. I am. Yeah. So baby, I got the guide and the one that wrote it. So baby, we're going to be in order. So y'all be on the lookout. So thank you so much, Shonda, for coming to Houston, Texas. You really somebody when you come to Houston, Texas. So baby, y'all looking at somebody. Thank you so much for putting us on the map. Yep.
It is.
That's like a little private, they got a little bag.
Wow. Oh. Child. They got a little bit of everything. After the conversation, I could have went on here and died on.
I need to come in here.
Did you enjoy yourself, Kristen?
I had a very good time. I had a great time. I enjoyed myself with Miss Shonda Scott's book. I'm ready to do 12 new things every month. I'm ready.
And get the document.
And get to document. I'm gonna be like Rachel, I'm gonna have to document. I'm bad at that. I'm gonna get my camera out.
Well, you don't have to necessarily get your camera out. You can put it in your journal.
You right.
Oh, well, I was looking like, what is that? That's me.
Come on, we gotta do this.
Give Me a Year with Love, Shonda Scott. November the 15th, 2025. Baby, I got my own signed copy. You better go to the next state and get yours, because you can't get mine. I'll see y'all in the next video. Ooh, child. One thing about me, we're going up and down that street, but we're going to get home, honey, with a smile. Okay? Baby, I'll park this car in a minute as if I ain't been in the streets. But I love traveling to Houston. But baby, one thing about me, I'm gonna make my way back to Katy, Texas, where it's quiet. So I can get my rest, so I can do it all over again at the next event, honey. Look at that wind. Oh, the sky is beautiful too. Honey, I had me a good time. It was nice. Whew. It's good to be home, safe and sound,
back in the house with the same smile I left with. But I'm so excited because now I'm home with a new book called Give Me a Year. I'm gonna add it to my book collection. How exciting! Oh my gosh. We added a new book to our bookshelf. Totally cool. Oh my gosh, I done made it back home, but oh my gosh, my cookie split. But too cute. It did make it home, not in one piece, but still in the package. Give Me a Year, Shonda Scott. Let's see what kind of cookie it is. It's a vanilla sugar cookie. I am so excited that I have experienced my 4th book tour, and each book tour was very different, and that's what I love. And I was left with a great sense of joy, rejuvenated, inspired by new ideas and ways that I can improve on this journey. One thing I love about this book tour, it has challenged us to try something new once a month, and I cannot wait to dive into this. And I also want to take you guys along as well. So I'm so excited how I got a chance to meet her in person. I got a chance to laugh. I got a chance to get to know more about her. She was very personable, very relatable, and dare I say, very fashionable. So she was everything that I expected her to be. The conversation was very intimate. I love the settings. The food was good. The stories she shared, and she brought up the Obamas too. I said, hey, now sister girl was invited to the Obama's Foundation. Not sister girl was with the Obamas. Okay. So baby, y'all know I was all in, okay? Y'all know I was all in when I heard the Obamas name. Looked like my ears popped up like Pokemon. But I am just so geeked, and I cannot wait to find out what author book tour I'm going to next. I'm looking forward to growing. I'm looking forward to sharing the process with you all, and I am just so excited to find out what this new journey is going to bring, to where this time next year, November the 15th, 2026, I can look back and say, wow, that was fun. Wow, that's one and done. You know, I'm just so excited. Shonda Scott, thank you so much for coming to Houston. Thank you so much for publishing this book. I heard so many stories here tonight, and it just inspired me to dive into this book ASAP. And safe travels back home, and we hope to see you in LA, because that is something new. I've traveled to 33 states, so hopefully on this journey I get to meet you again, but this time in your state. And oh, shout out to your mom, Moderator, she said, everyone calls her. It was so nice to meet your mom. She was very, very kind, and I love our conversation that we had. Y'all, if y'all have made it this far to this video, I'm hoping that I encourage you guys to get the book. And the book does have a guide at the end of each chapter, so I encourage you all to get a copy yourself, and hashtag 12 News Things, so you guys can share your journey with the author, Shonda Scott. And I would love to learn about it as well. So leave what you guys are gonna be doing new in the comments so I can read it, and hopefully, if I have not done it, that I can build up the confidence to do it too, because it is scary doing new things, and do it consistently is also a challenge within itself. So I'm hoping that we can all hold each other accountable on this new journey, because we all deserve to live happily and have fun while we're doing it. Don't think of it as a chore. Think of it as a new thing to add to your experience. Yeah, so I love that Gina, she is a longtime news anchor. I talked to her. She stated that she's been in the industry for 37 years. So that was interesting. She's also from California, and she was telling me that she enjoyed moderating the event, and I got a chance to talk to her, and I began to tell her how I moved here. So I think it was such a nice, intimate setting, how everybody just was smiling and talking and eating and sipping cocktails while we just heard from Shonda Scott. Shonda Scott really articulated her thoughts. She gave us an insight of the book, especially for me. I have not read the book. A lot of her family was there. I really was inspired by that because I love how we can show up for one another. And she said that this book tour has felt like a family reunion, and she loved how this book tour has gave her an opportunity to connect with new people and things like that. So yeah, I love just listening to older people talk because they have wisdom, and I need that wisdom. So I do encourage you guys to get off social media and support somebody that you have been following, and get in a community and have a real conversation. And that's probably gonna be one of the new things that you guys can do. Start there, get in the community, meet new people, and you may just be inspired. So until then, let's start this new journey together. All right, guys, it has been a joy chatting and bringing you guys on this experience, and I hope to see y'all in the next video.